channel. So today I'm going to do my plan to pan for 2025. This is not a video that I do very often, or at least I don't call it this, but it's quite popular. So yeah, these are all of the items that I would either like to finish up next year or I have some sort of goal towards. These are all non-eyeshadow because my eyeshadow palettes get rolled into other projects or my pan that palettes and things like that. So I'm not looking at any palettes for today's video. It's mostly all my other makeup that I have in my collection and what I really think I could potentially finish next year, or what I want to do, or maybe some items that I want to hit pan on or that I'm still currently working on and I know that they're going to be here next year. So I think it'd be fun to check in, you know, sort of mid 2025 around June, July time, just to see where I am with some of these. I've done that a few times and it's always been interesting to see if I've done well or not. Let's start with the ones that are currently already in my project pan. If you already follow me, you'll know most of these, but I did just roll in my Bobbi Brown Face Enrich Primer. I don't think I'm gonna have this done by the end of the year because we just have a few weeks left now, but I do want to finish this up, so it's definitely an item that I hope to finish next year. Obviously it'll be towards the beginning of the year, maybe the first half of the year I'll have this done, but obviously I still wanted to talk about this, so that's the first one. Next up we have two items here where I want to hit pan, and honestly I don't even think one of these I will be able to hit pan next year, but I'm working on this one. This is the Kiko Warm Melange Bronzer, and it is domed, it is baked, and this is where I'm at the moment. I currently have it in my project pan already. I am using it. Yeah, this might take me into 2026, which would be very, very scary to think about. Maybe 2027, who knows? But this is in my project pan. I'm not rolling it out anytime soon. So I do hope that I see some more progress in the next year. Whether it happens or not, that's another thing. Next up, this one I think is more realistic. So I have this blush from Colourpop. This is the Fresh and Peachy blush. And this one I want to hit pan in as well. And I have more of a little dip forming. It's not a baked formula. It's not domed. So I do feel like there's a little bit more, there's more opportunity here with this product to be able to see pan in the new year. It is also in my project pan. Next up is a Colourpop highlighter. This is my Supershock highlighter in the shade Coastin. This again is also in my project pan. I actually have a little bit on today. I was really hoping to get this done by the end of the month. I don't think I will by my next project pan update. This is where we are right now. So I think in the new year, maybe month 1 or 2, I will have it done. I really just have this left. But yeah, this is gonna be done next year, for sure, for certain. It's been going on for years now, me trying to finish this, and I'm about ready. This will be my second one that I finish as well, so quite a nice little feat, you know, to add to my roster of project panned items. Okay, next up, this is the last item that I'm gonna talk about that's currently in my project pan, but I am working on this palette from Sheglam. This is the Peachy palette. I actually have the blush on today, which is right here. So my goal for, I think, this next year would be to finish the blush. I think if I finish the blush, I'll be quite happy with maybe pulling this out of a project pan and keeping it or decluttering it altogether, because I really don't go into this shade. I don't go into this shade. This shade is nice. It's in my inner corner at the moment. But other than that, I don't really need this palette. The blush really was the one that I really cared for, and then this is a nice inner corner, but I have a lot of inner corner highlights. So to keep this whole big bulky packaging, I don't know if I necessarily need to. So yeah, for next year, definitely want to finish this. I think it's a very shimmery blush, but I do enjoy it. It's a peachy shimmery blush, which is always my favorite. Okay, so like I said, the rest of these are all outside of projects, but I could potentially be rolling them into my project pan or just trying to finish them on the side. I haven't decided that yet, but there's a few here where I feel like they would be easy for me to finish, and then a few where it's a little ambitious, but we're gonna go with it. So the first one here is this. This is the Essence Fix and Last 14-Hour Loose Powder. I actually don't really like this. I think it gives me bags under my eyes. I don't think it's a very good one. It says matte, blurring, and waterproof. Yeah, maybe, but no, I don't think so. So I have quite a lot. I would say I have 2/3 of the product still in there. I think I've only gone through a third. So it would be, I would definitely think I would have to roll this into my project pan just to remind myself to use it. But I'm not opposed to trying to finish this next year, especially since I don't really like it, and I'm not currently going to be doing a declutter series anytime soon. So I feel like, why not? Let me try to get through my makeup. I've spent so much money on all my makeup, and let me try to use some of it, get my money's worth. Not that this is expensive, but this one I want to be rolling in. It's a little bit more of an ambitious one because obviously that would be to finish, and there's quite a lot of product left in there. This next one I think wouldn't be too hard to hit my goal, really, and it is just to hit pan. So I have this blush from NYX. This is the Sweet Cheeks, and this is the Glow edition. They have like matte ones, and these are glow ones. This is the shade Daydream, and it is a very glowy, powdery blush. It's a very soft powder too. It's a little putty-like, but not really. It's very, very beautiful, and I do feel like I could definitely hit pan. It's not the first time this has been in a project pan, but I think at the time I wasn't really focusing on it too much. I can't have been, but I definitely think sometime next year I could hit pan in this if I force myself to. So I think this one deserves to be in the list because it's an item that I've wanted to hit pan in for a while. It's very beautiful, but it also is quite hard to wear because it is definitely like a blind, let me swatch it. It's super blinding. And I did buy it because Make Me Up Missa had one, and she was like, oh, it's so pretty. And I was like, yes, it's so pretty. She didn't have the shade, but I do like the shade because obviously this is more of the peachy shade. Makes a little bit more sense, but you can see like that is like a highlight. That's like a highlight blush. So it's a little bit harder to wear. I will give it that. However, I do want it to add it to the list of items for my, you know, plan to pan. Okay, this next one was in my project pan earlier this year, and I wanted to just basically hit the pan. It is my ABH cream bronzer, and again, this new year, I want to do it. At some point in the year, I want to do it. This only works for me in the spring, summertime. So during that time, I will probably roll it into my project pan and roll out the current one that I'm working on. And really, my goal is going to be the same. I want to hit the bottom of the pan. That's all I want to do. I did do quite a bit this year. I did get pretty close. I do think I'm pretty close, but obviously didn't manage to do it. It's not to finish it because this will take me a long time to finish, but just if I can see the bottom of this pan, then I will be very, very happy this year. Okay, and then I have 3 concealers. So one of these I'm actually working on. This is in my Shop My Stash. This is the, what is this? Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. And I'm starting to notice it's very dry. So I actually feel like I'm at the point where I need to take the stopper out because it's not getting a lot of product on the doe foot. It's pretty dry on there. So it's quite hard. I'm pretty much scraping it already. And so I feel like this would be a very easy item for me to finish maybe come January, February time, and then I could call it done. So definitely an item that I would like to completely finish up for next year. Then I have my ABH Magic Concealer. This one I don't really care for. I know a lot of people don't care for it either. It's just not my favorite type of formula. It's pretty thick and it also gives me terrible bags under my eyes. So it's just not the type of formula for me in my aging skin. So this one I would like to potentially just roll it into a project pan and finish it. I don't know how much I have left. I mean, I certainly am not at the point where I need to take the stopper out or anything. So I do really just need to just roll it into a project pan and put some effort into it. It's just every time I use this, I hate how it looks. So I'm gonna have to try to find a way. I know that Caitlin Costello, I know she mixed it with her foundation, so maybe I'll just use it as a foundation instead of a concealer. I think that would be probably the best way for me because it's not really an under eye concealer, and that's pretty much where I use my concealer. And then the next one is this one. This is the NYX Bear With Me concealer. And I just don't like this. I'm not like everybody else. Everybody loves this. I'm not like all the other girls. No, I really don't like this product. I've only got like half of it left. It's really, I love these tubes because you can see exactly how much you have left and it's really easy just to pump it out. So yeah, pretty much halfway through. It would be great if I can finish this. This is another one where actually it works a little bit better as a foundation as opposed to a concealer. It might also be because of the color. I have the shade Vanilla, and it's definitely a good shade match, but it's not very brightening, and I do like brightening concealer. So anyway, regardless of that, I think this is an item that I've had for a couple of years now and I've never enjoyed it, and I'm not gonna declutter it because look, I can finish this. So I'm gonna finish it for next year. Okay, this next one's gonna be a bit hard because I am working on bronzers, and obviously I want to work on my ABH cream bronzer, and this is another cream bronzer that I actually want to finish. So I think this is going to be hard, and this is very ambitious of me, but I do have the Sosu Jackson little bronzer stick here. This is the shade Contour Cool, and it actually is really, really nice, but I've had it quite a long time now. It's older than my ABH, and you know, cream items don't really last very long, so it's kind of like 3 years old. Still smells fine, but kind of worries me. So this is how much I've used up so far, just without rolling it up. And then if I do roll it up, I have that much left, which doesn't seem like a lot. I feel like I could do it, but also it is quite a lot because you don't need to use too much product when you use these. And also I am obviously wanting to finish up a lot of other items, whether it be powder bronzer or cream bronzers. So definitely an ambitious one, but I definitely would like to at least try to get it done. I mean, I think I need to roll this into a project and just try to see what I can do. It is a shade where it's more of a contour, so I can use it all winter long. It might look a little weird during the spring, summer, but definitely an item that maybe I should start working on sooner than later. So this is one that I've been thinking about, and I feel like I kind of need to start. Okay, this next one, I'm not entirely sure if I do want to finish it. But I also don't mind if I do. So I have the NARS. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation. This was pretty expensive. I've used about half of it. You can see it's sort of settled, and I'm about halfway. And I have never loved this item. And I don't not like it. It's fine, but it also is like a meh item. And for me, it's something that was pretty expensive, you know, double the price of some of my other foundations in my collection. It just leaves a sour taste in my mouth whenever I use it. I'm like, why are you so expensive? So this one I would be quite happy to finish. I also was looking at my foundation. I don't really have that many foundations left. I know, you know, when people say that, it's like, oh, I have 10 foundations. But I actually feel like looking at all my foundations, I really don't have many left. So I'm at the point where, yeah, I'm fine with just starting to get through the ones that I have. I'm already using them naturally anyway. This is one of the ones that I really don't feel like I have a strong opinion about either way. There is another foundation where I really don't like in my collection that I kind of realized that this month, but it's not something that I want to project pan. I think potentially I might just declutter it at some point. It's just, I think I would hate pan it, but this one would not be a hate pan because it's just that it's fine. It's fine. Okay, these next two already have pans, so they would be to finish. I think they would be okay. Well, one of them I think would be a little bit harder than the other, but and this next one I actually really like, and I also heard this discontinued. So before I start trying to finish it, I need to probably buy another one because I really like it. So it's the NYX HD Finishing Powder. I have heard people say this is going to be discontinued or it is being discontinued, but I see it's still available. So I think I might just buy another one. I know you shouldn't buy, you know, you shouldn't buy backups, but I really do like this. It's the only thing that actually looks nice under my eyes. I don't use it all the time because I like to filter through all my powders, but as you can see, I have a nice big pan in there, and I could definitely finish this for next year. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get a backup before I start, just in case, because that would be pretty bad if I finish that. I can't buy it again, and then what am I left with? What am I left with? Okay, this next one has definitely oxidized, and I just don't think it's as nice as it used to be. And I know that when it first came out, people weren't very pleased with it, but I was one of the few that I saw that actually generally liked it. And it is the Huda Beauty Glowish powder. I have the shade Fair Light, and it definitely is darker than when I first got it. So I feel like it's oxidized quite a bit. It's quite now a more of a warm shade, and something that's called Fair Light. It's definitely not fair. There is a shade lighter than this, which I think would have been probably better for me. But as you can see, obviously I have a pan. I think this is about time that I finish this because this is an old item. I think it's, dare I say, coming up to 4 years old now. So yeah, I think I need to finish this or declutter it because it's just whenever I use it, I'm not very pleased with it anymore. I just find it, the pigment just a little off. It doesn't work for me, and I just think it's oxidized. I just don't think it used to be this dark, or maybe I was blind to it, but now I finally see what's going on, and I think it's just too dark for me. So yeah, this one I'm going to be hopefully rolling into a project at some point. Okay, these next two are more ambitious, so we will see if I get to them. Definitely this one, because this is one where the little voice in my head's like, you can do it. You can do it, Gabby. Okay, so as I said, I'm working on a lot of bronzers, and I do have this O for bronzer. This is the Americano bronzer. Now this bronzer is so dark, and it's quite, you know, like luminous as well, so it's not a full matte, and I like matte bronzers. But anyway, this is where we are with it. Now, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see in this lighting, I mean, hopefully you can, but there are rings showing. So in my opinion, I feel like I could hit pan in this because I can see the rings underneath. So I can literally see where I need to hit pan. It doesn't seem like there's that much formula left. And I would be so pleased if I just hit pan and then call it done. Like, that's kind of what I want to do. I don't really feel like finishing this, but again, it's also an item that I can't use all year round because it's super, super dark. It's definitely like a spring, summer, and I didn't even use it this year, I don't think. So this would be really hard. It would work well with the ABH cream bronzer, but I don't know, I'd have to be super bronzy, like super bronzy this year. And also to be able to hit pan, obviously I have to go into it quite a lot of times. So it's definitely ambitious, but I have ambitions, you see. So, you know, why not? And then this last one's just going to be a fun one. So I do have this from Glam Shop. This is the, it's a highlighter palette. I can't say that. And I have all of these three. They're very, very beautiful, but they're very like very, very, very like in your face. And they're great for like inner corner highlights. And I think it would be fun if I could hit pan on all three of them. So we're going to try to do that if it's possible. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's just a fun one. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But yeah, as you can see, like I have quite a lot of ambitions for next year. So we will see if I get any of them done. Obviously, I would like to continue hitting pan on eyeshadow as well. So I haven't included that in this video, but that is a given. And yeah, what do you think? Do you think I'm crazy? There's quite a lot of items here, and to be fair, it might be way too much. I might be completely overwhelmed. My collection will grow potentially, or maybe shrink down. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen next year? But this is what I'm thinking right now. So I think it'll be fun in like 6-7 months to check in, see where I am with all these, if any of them are still in my collection, if I've managed to finish them, hit pan. That would be a lot of fun. So anyway, thank you so much. Let me know what items you want to try to finish or hit pan on next year, and I will see you all next time. Bye.